A recent poll from AAPI Data and National Opinion Research Center found that 55% of Asian Americans say President Donald Trump is focusing on the wrong policies.
I would say about the last 4 elections, you will see that the Asian American vote has been pivoting toward the Republican Party. So there's going to be an interesting point of reckoning for Asian American voters, particularly those who did cross lines or who did support Trump, whether this was the right decision.
About 60% of Asian Americans still voted Democratic in the 2024 presidential election, but that's a slip from the previous election of about 7%. But it's clear South Asian Americans have increased their political influence, with presidential candidates including Kamala Harris, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Nikki Haley. Under the Trump administration, they've received some powerful appointments, including FBI Director Kash Patel, National Institutes of Health Director Jay Bhattacharya, and Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights Harmeet Dillon. The author of Desi's Divided, Sanjay Mishra, says even though South Asian Americans are largely Democrats, a small segment has shifted right.
Young men 18 to 29, South Asians particularly, but other groups also, they are feeling much more attracted to Trump kind of rhetoric. And there I feel that discourse around gender, discourse around sexuality, you don't have healthcare because undocumented people are getting undue preference.
Lai, who's currently working on a book about Asian Americans called The Battle for Belonging, predicts conservative Chinese Americans and conservative Indian Americans may work together in the future over shared interests, such as ending affirmative action. In fact, in 2023, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled on a lawsuit filed by an activist group representing Asian Americans that claimed Harvard's affirmative action-based admissions policies discriminated against them. They won.
If we are seeing kind of the emergence of conservative Asian Indians and conservative Chinese Americans around those same issues, around anti-affirmative action, our concern about, immigration, and of course, public education and education admissions, not just at the college level, at selective universities that we have just recently seen with the affirmative action debate, but also at selective high schools.
But immigration could also prove to be a divisive issue, especially on the topic of H-1B visas, which allow U.S. employers to hire high-skilled foreign workers. Trump has been on both sides of the issue.
Only a small section of South Asians are aligning with Trump administration on the question of H-1B. Most South Asians feel that that's the route through which a large section of the community has come to the U.S. And if any administration is trying to shut that down, then that's not good for the community.
There was a really great study I used in my class where this professor of sociology, and he found that Asian Indians were almost on equal par, or if not above, white Americans when it came to, in the field of high tech, the ability to get promoted. Whereas East Asians, both US born, as well as those that were immigrants and had their education here or some of it here in the United States in terms of graduate, were really well below.
Just one of many issues that illustrates how the views of Asian American voters are shaped by a variety of influences that don't necessarily fall neatly into a single box. Mark New, CGTN, San Francisco.